Hello everyone, this is Devansh Agnihotri. Welcome back to the second part of Vijayanagara Empire. Today we are going to discuss about all the architectural features, temples, structures of the Vijayanagar and how they were made and what their purpose was. So let's start with the first topic, that is finding about the city. A large number of inscriptions of kings of Vijayanagar recording donations to temples and describing important events have been recovered by archaeologists. Many accounts of several travelers like Italian Niccolò de Conti, Abdul Razak, who was sent by ruler of Persia, a merchant named Afsani Nikitin. Let's move to the second part, that is water resources. The most striking feature of Vijayanagar that it is a natural basin formed by the river Tungabhadra, which flows in the northeasterly direction. The city is surrounded by granite hills. Many streams and reservoirs have also been found. It suggests that the area was well irrigated because it is a semi-arid area. The most prominent waterworks can be seen among the ruins of Harihara Canal. There were also tanks made. The most important such tank is the Kamalapuram tank. Water from this tank was used to irrigate the fields nearby and was also conducted through a channel to the royal center and the urban core. Let's move to the third part, that is fortifications and roads. This has been well documented by Abdul Razak, who was an ambassador sent by the ruler of Persia to Calicut in the 15th century. He was so impressed by the fortification that he mentions 7 lines of forts which encircled the whole Vijayanagara Empire. The first 3 lines enclosed the agricultural tract. This was done to protect the agricultural belt itself. The rulers of Vijayanagar adopted a very expensive strategy to combat all the sieges that happened at that time, because all the attacks and sieges were to stop the kingdom from getting enough food. To these lines were the fortifications around the inner core of the urban complex. Another was around the royal center and around the important temples and important monuments so that they could protect them. Now, let's discuss about the urban core. There is a little archaeological evidence for this area, but Portuguese traveler Duarte Barbosa described that the houses of ordinary people were there. Houses were well built and arranged according to the occupations in long streets with many open places also. This indicates that many places, numerous shrines and small temples, pointing out to the prevalence of variety of cults and religions in this area. Even the mosques in this area had a similar structure to the temples. Now, let's discuss about the royal center. It was a center area where most of the palaces of the kings, their chambers and their halls are located. The most magnificent structures are found in this area. The royal center was located in southwestern part of the settlement. It included over 60 temples and 30 building complexes have been identified. The difference between the temples and the structures of the palaces is that the palaces were constructed entirely of masonry, while the superstructure on the secular building was made of perishable materials like wood. Like we see in a structure that is named as Mahanavami Dibba. Now, let's discuss about the Mahanavami Dibba and the Hall of Victory. Enclosure in the Vijayanagar is two impressive platforms. They are platforms to gather the audience, known as the audience hall and the Mahanavami Dibba. The entire complex is surrounded by high double walls with streets running between them. The audience hall is a high platform with slots for wooden pillars, which reflects that the upper portion of the audience hall was made of wood. At the highest point in the city is the Mahanavami Dibba, which is a massive platform rising from a base of about 11,000 square feet to a height of 40 feet. Together, these two structures were known as the House of Victory. They were used to perform various ceremonies in the Vijayanagar, especially on the occasion of Hindu festivals such as Deepavali and Mahanavami or Navratri. The ceremonies included worship of gods and goddesses, and also the worship of estate horses, sacrifice of buffaloes, wrestling matches, etc. There are other structures as well. One of them is a beautiful palace like structure which is known as the Lotus Mahal. The Lotus Mahal has been given its name by the Lord Mackenzie. He said that it probably was a council chamber where king met his advisors. One of the most spectacular structures is known as the Hazara Rama temple. This was a temple which was to be used only by the king and his family. The temple includes scenes from Ramayana and they have been well sculpted on the inner walls of the shrine. Now, let's move to the next part. That is about the sacred center of the Vijayanagar Empire. We now move to the rocky northern end of the city on the banks of Tungabhadra river. According to local tradition, these hills sheltered the monkey kingdom of Vali and Sugriv as mentioned in Ramayana. Other traditions suggest that Pampa Devi was a local mother goddess who did severe penance in order to marry Virupaksha, the guardian deity of the kingdom, who is also recognized as a form of Shiva. Marriage of Virupaksha and goddess Pampa Devi is still celebrated annually in this region. There are many Jain temples of pre-Vijayanagar period here. The choice of this site of Vijayanagar was inspired by the existence of shrines of Virupaksha and Pampa Devi. The Vijayanagar kings claimed to rule on behalf of God Virupaksha himself. All the royal orders were signed as Shri Virupaksha, usually in the Kannada script. There are close links with gods using the title Hindu Surat Rana or Hindu Sultan. This was the Sanskritization of the Arabic term Sultan. Now, let's move to the next part, that is the temple architecture of this area. Let's discuss about how were the temples made, in which type of architectural styles. There were new features in this period. The Raya Gopuram and the royal gateways that often dwarfed the towers on the central shrine of the temple and signaled the presence of a temple from a great distance. The Virupaksha temple was made over centuries. It took a long time to make it. It was substantially enlarged with the establishment of the Vijayanagara Empire. The hall in front of the Virupaksha temple was built by King Raya when he succeeded the throne. It was decorated with delicately carved pillars. He is also credited with the construction of the Eastern Gopuram, that is one of the largest Gopurams of South India. There are other temples as well, like the famous Vithala temple, where the principal deity was Vithala, a form of Vishnu, generally worshipped in the Maharashtra region. The introduction of worship of the deity in Karnataka is another indication of ways in which the rulers of Vijayanagar drew on different traditions to create an imperial culture. They were to subside all other cultures and intermix them with theirs. The temple also had several halls and unique shrine that is designed as a chariot. This chariot appears on the 50 rupees note in India. That is it for today. Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to the channel for videos like this and share the channel. Thank you and be with us for upcoming videos. Thank you.